Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there have been some major tidal waves in the VTubing community over the past couple days because a major VTuber that goes by the name of Cinder has recently had their reputation destroyed. And I shouldn't say had their reputation destroyed. I really should phrase it, they destroyed their reputation and then it finally came out. So, let me just take a step back, all right? For those who don't know much about the VTubing community, who aren't interested, but are interested in internet goings-on, Cinder was a VTuber that was very popular. And the reason that this VTuber was popular, I'll demonstrate in a second. First of all, you have their VTuber model. So this is Cinder right here. Very aesthetically pleasing, cool design, all of that. However, that's not really the only determining factor in popularity amongst the VTubing community. Having an attractive avatar is one part of it, but it's also the personality. It's, are you a bubbly, kind, friendly person that's going to be drama-free? Are you going to present yourself in this way that we can really kind of gather around you like you're some kind of idol or, pop star? Well, for Cinder, the answer was yes. Her reputation was pretty good. There weren't really many people that had a bad thing to say about Cinder. She collabed with all of the most popular content creators in that space, like Bao and Numi and other people. And so her reputation was good. Until there was a Google Doc that dropped, seemingly out of random, from somebody named Nanoless, who apparently is a VTuber artist. And they had some things to say about Cinder, and that was the atomic catapult that pretty much brought down the castle. Because then other people started sharing their experiences with Cinder, and apparently behind the scenes it's, well, not exactly an Ellen DeGeneres moment, but it's becoming clear that the bubbly, friendly person, that is a persona that really she's a sort of manipulative, dishonest, disloyal, sort of, cheat on your husband type of person. And I gotta tell you, we understand that actors are different from the roles, but VTubing isn't unique in that you don't really know the person behind the scenes. All you have to go by is what they put forward. So when that immersion is broken, it's hard, if not impossible, to sort of get it back. And there are people that are parasocially invested in this. And now that that is gone, I don't know that she's going to be able to recover from this reputationally or to be able to maintain what she had. I don't think she's going away. I think she'll still have an audience because, they know what she looks like in real life. There are a lot of simps. Do not underestimate the number of simps. And this girl, I'm just going to say it, and some people may say it's crass or it doesn't have anything to do with it, but I think that it does. This girl has gone to cons and she's got some big old titties. And she's attractive and she's not super fat. So, attractive, big tits, not super fat. There are going to be a lot of guys who'll be like, well, this isn't that big a deal. I'm still a fan of her. I still like her. And her model is, I think, reflective of her physically. So people are going to be interested in that as well. But there are some people that do really lay heavy into the, oh, well, you're mean to your friends and you're not a good person, so I can't watch you. And they're just going to check out. And that has happened and hit like a truck. I think Cinder lost like 30 or 40,000 people in a day, which is wild. I mean, it's crazy numbers. So anyway, Tectone, of all people, has done multiple videos on this, but he's also broken it down in tweets. And so we're going to go over those. After 2 hours, 4 documents, 2 posts, and a lot of reading, here are the major takeaways on the Cinder situation and each document posted. What we can conclude, Nano's document. Redacted, who, by the way, is Cinder's boyfriend, which another part of this is finding out that Cinder had a boyfriend and she was living with him and he was the manager. Yeah, that's a kiss of death. There's a reason why Pokimane pretends not to have a boyfriend, okay? There's a big reason why. Because all these parasocial people, they like to imagine that they could be the one. And finding out that they can never be the one, yeah, it's going to dash a lot of hopes. It's going to crush a lot of hearts, but there it is. Redacted is Cinder's mouthpiece. Confirms Cinder knew everything Redacted said. Redacted and Cinder were attempting to monopolize an editor, thus artists against their desires. Guilt tripped and manipulated them into doing their work and no one else's. So yeah, so Cinder was trying to take these highly sought after artists and make them exclusive to their brand. So these artists that were getting paid these commissions basically saying, no, you only work for us. Like, you don't work for like Silvervale or other people. You only work for me. And trying to gaslight them and manipulate them into doing that, which is pretty scummy because some of the people on the list are people that Cinder is supposedly friends with. People like Bow the Whale. So here we go. What Cinder's doing isn't effed up to do to one's competition. However, doing it to their friends is a whole different story. Redacted gaslit analysts using revisionist history. Now, to be honest in this, I think that this is a pretty good summation. Nanolist isn't blameless in this. They posted a Google Doc and they admitted to some of their own failings and shortcomings where they were basically bad-mouthing Silvervale to, to appear to be on the team for Cinder. I thought that was pretty messed up that, you're going to talk about another client like that. But at the end of the day, they posted the whole thing with no redactions and, basically said, yeah, I was in the wrong. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Rain's document. Cinder sexting another man while in a relationship. Cinder trauma dumping to another person about how bad her relationship is to someone she is interested in. NTR, oh boy. Rain and Cinder are very scummy in this document. Rain claims this wasn't meant to be a witch hunt, but it very clearly was done with the prior timing to have this document gain traction they wanted, and so it did. Is that wrong? Up to you. You decide. Vamp's post. So these are other people that after the initial post came out, then they posted their Google Docs. They posted their things with Cinder, and it sort of just continued to gain momentum from there. Vamp exposes Red being Cinder's boyfriend. Not really a big deal. Tons of VTubers hide the fact that they have a significant other to far more parasocials to get gifted and super chats, which is exactly what I said. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Not just VTubers, tons of content creators. Tons of them. You really don't think? Yeah, like, Amaranth has a husband. You really don't think Pokimane has a boyfriend? You don't think that Emaru has a, boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't know how that thing swings. I don't know how that person, I don't know why I call her that thing. I don't know how Emaru swings. So you don't think that they have like somebody, like a girlfriend, boyfriend? Of course they do. Tons of streamers do this. Not really a big deal for wanting to keep your private life private. True. However, if Cinder throws away her boyfriend to try to alleviate some negative PR, that is going to be a big yikes for me, dog. Which is, man, that's foreshadowing. Man, that is foreshadowing. Bao's document dispels claims that Cinder and Red were making calling Bao editor and my MV maker thief. Dispels claims that Cinder, okay, confirms how hurt she is by having her friend attempt to overtly be overtly competitive and ruin her image and her models and impacting her career negatively. Says that Cinder could make it on top, but when she gets there, she will be alone. Bao dispels claims that she locked up Scarce, her editor. Bao completely absolves herself from wrongdoing. Great doc. Okay? Now you've got Spite's document. Spite insinuates that Cinder is and was copying her, not the other way around. Screenshots of these claims are pretty damning. Spite showing off her outfit in July 2022. Cinder then having a near identical outfit September 14th, 2022. And again, it's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. Yeah, I do get it, but I mean, yeah, like a VTuber model. Like, how long does it take to make? I mean, she could have been making it before her debut, or I don't know. That part of it, I think, is open to your interpretation. Major takeaways, to be honest, things look absolutely horrible for Cinder, yet I will still be waiting for her response just to do my due diligence. It has been alleged that, with a lot of damning screenshots. Yeah, in these Google Docs, there's a lot of screenshots. There's a lot to back it up. It's very interesting. As well as others corroborating the narrative that is being pushed. Cinder is currently being alleged as overly competitive with her friends in the VTubing space, willing to undermine and backstab her friends to get ahead, gaslight and manipulate editors or workers to get her way, cheating on significant other, a model/rigger thief. People speculate she is going to throw away her current boyfriend, aka Red Redacted, which, yeah, to alleviate some negative PR coming her way. But for now, I believe that is about it. Well, yeah, this is a pretty good synopsis of things. And yeah, Cinder responded. She did. She released her own Google Doc. And yeah, we're gonna cover it real quick here. And from everything that I've seen from people, it's absolutely terrible, and it's what you would expect from somebody that doesn't understand the severity of the situation and wants to avoid all liability and it wants to basically, have everyone feel bad for them. Oh, I was a victim of my mean boyfriend. It's like, come on. No one is buying that. First of all, the fact that you have a boyfriend, people in your community are already going to be a little bit upset at you. But to blame him for everything, oh, he was controlling me. He did all this stuff. I had no idea. Come on. Summarized it. Kept biases out until personal feelings section at the end. For anyone too lazy to read, Cinder's document major takeaways. Redacted is confirmed to be a manager and significant other. Cinder claims that Redacted warped her point of view to be much more shark-like, business-minded. Oh my god. Yeah, he warped my mind. He warped me. I'm just a poor innocent girl with big tits and big eyelashes. It wasn't me. I mean, yeah, I was watching as my friends were getting, screwed over by me and my decisions, but it was him. He made me more shark-like compared to, compared to other people. It wasn't my fault. It's like, God, come on. Even if that was true, that's not what you say. That's a terrible PR move. Makes you look bad. Oh, man. Gives an attempt at an apology and takes some responsibility. Pure speculation. Seems like she's trying to throw Red under the bus. Yes, she definitely did that, and feigning ignorance. Cinder claims she was ignorant to the full extent of Red's manipulation on Nano, which, I mean, it's pretty much come out that no, she knew. Cinder claims that they were responsible for only canceling one VTuber's work premeditated. Only one, huh? No, there have been 0 DMs or screenshots included in the entire document. So Cinder didn't include any screenshots, any documents, while everyone else had tons of them. Cinder says she had now even less of an idea of what Red was communicating, even though there are screenshots of her admitting that she did. Admits she was jealous and upset with Bao over the editor debacle. Cinder claims the "it's just business" screenshot was horribly misinterpreted and that she meant that Nano was free to do whatever she wanted. You can sort of take that however you want. Cinder claims that the name Cinder was a mix of sin and cinder, thought of by Red, not an attempt to copy or sound like Silver. Cinder's Silver, like Silver Rail. Though I'm not sure who asked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. My personal thoughts, if you care, the document was a horrible attempt at an apology. Very little to 0 true accountability taken. This was a horrible attempt at throwing her boyfriend under the bus for their both shared issues they've caused, which I predicted would be the direction of this document. This whole ordeal makes me quite sad, knowing how many people felt hurt by this, and I don't believe anyone is going to approve or enjoy reading this whatsoever. Sad. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good synopsis. And yeah, people are just sharing their frustration and their disappointment. I'm done with the VTuber community. I wouldn't just throw the baby out with bathwater. I understand that there are a lot of VTubers that have shady past, and we've talked about Fruit before. I mean, I'm not going to open that can of worms. Holy shit. But what I will say is that the VTubing community is responding in the way that I think is appropriate for this sort of bad behavior, and I would encourage you not to accept Cinder's apology until she actually owns up and confesses to what she did wrong and then makes some sort of amends. I think she handled this in the worst way by basically throwing the boyfriend under the bus, which is another thing, goes to her lack of loyalty, lack of, any responsibility, lack of credibility. It's all the way around. It's a bad look. It's a bad look all the way around. So that's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. That's where it's going to lay. I predict Cinder will continue to lose subscribers until she reaches whatever the bottom is of this. And yeah, a lot of people are hurt. A lot of people are bothered. I have seen artists that have regretted the hours and hours and hours they put into her artwork, her fan art. Yeah, I think that people are going to be hurt from this in the VTubing community, and I feel bad for you. I do. I do. I feel very bad for you, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you get a bunch of bad news all at once. Gura is retiring, which was like a freight train. And just when you thought, I survived getting hit by a freight train, then a yacht comes and drops on you. It's like out of the sky. I don't know. Where did a yacht come from? I don't know. It just dropped right on top of me. So I do feel bad for people in the VTubing community who are getting hit on all sides. And then there's another VTuber named Mume who's retiring as well. And so that's a thing. Fauna retired, and that was poor VTuber. But Fauna has returned as Nimi Nightmare, who's doing phenomenally well. Congratulations to her on all of her success. She is continuing to live stream. She has a new model, new everything, but she's doing ridiculously well. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.